Hi everyone, good morning. In today's class, we are going to see about types of drawing process. There are three types of drawing process. One is wire drawing, rod drawing, and tube drawing. So we are going to see about what is drawing, requirements of drawing process, types of drawing process, working process of drawing, and its applications. So what is drawing? Drawing is a metal forming process used to reduce cross section and increase the length of workpiece. This process is associated with tensile force, which distinguish it from other metal forming process like extrusion, forging, etc. In extrusion, we have been using the compressive force, and in drawing we are going to use tensile force. So what is the tensile force? Tensile strength is a measurement of the force required to pull something such as rope, wire, or structural beam to the point where it breaks. The tensile stress of material is the maximum amount of tensile stress that it can take before failure, for example breaking. In this process, a large cross section of workpiece is forced to pass through a die which has a smaller opening comparing to the cross section area of workpiece. So the cross section of area of workpiece is larger than the smaller opening of the die. This will plastically deform the workpiece by decreasing its cross section area and increasing its strength. This process is used for making wires, rods, tubes, etc. So what are the requirements of drawing process? The material should have sufficient ductility. So ductility is the physical property of a material associated with ability to be hammered thin or stretched into wire without breaking. A ductile substance can be drawn into a wire. Most metals are good examples of ductile materials, including gold, silver, copper. They can be stretched easily, so it can sustain tensile force. The material should possess high tensile stress. The rod or wire should be properly cleaned for dust or scale free before drawing. It should be properly lubricated to reduce friction associated with operation. So three types of drawing process are there: wire drawing, rod drawing, and tube drawing. So what is wire drawing? Wire drawing is a circular small diameter flexible rod. Wire drawing is a cold working process. That is, the whole process takes below the crystallization temperature. It is an operation to produce wire of various sizes within certain specific tolerances. This process involves reducing diameter of thick wire by passing it through a series of wire drawing dies, with successive die having smaller diameter than the preceding one. So the workpiece is passed through a series of dies. Okay, so each passing is called as the single pass. So each die will be having a smaller gap compared to the previous one. Mostly die are made by chilled cast iron, tungsten carbide, diamond, or other tool material. So the maximum reduction in area of wire is less than 48% in one pass. Okay, so why the dies are made in chilled cast iron, tungsten carbide, or diamond? Because dies are the one which are going to face the stress. Okay, the maximum tensile stress is going to be faced by the dies, so it should be made strong. So this is the process of wire drawing. So this is starting stock in coil form, and it is then passed through a die. Okay, before passing through a die, the wire is passed through a lubricant, and then it is passed through a die. Okay, so the die opening is smaller than the diameter of the wire. Okay, so after passing through the die, the diameter of a wire is reduced. So this passing is called as a single pass, and while going to the another die, the gap will be smaller than the previous one. Okay, so after finishing this process, the wire is coiled in a draw block. Okay, so this is the process of wire drawing. So next we are going to see about rod drawing. Rod drawing is similar process like wire drawing, except it is rigid and has larger diameter compared to wire. This process needs heavier equipment compared to wire drawing because the wire can be coiled but a rod should be kept rigid. The workpiece is first fed into die and pulled by a carriage which increases its length and decreases its cross section. Now the rod is to be cut into sections. So this is the workpiece and this is the die and this is the carriage which is going to be pulled. Okay, so the tensile force is going to be given by the carriage. The jaw is used to connect the carriage. Okay, so this is the larger diameter rod and once it passes through the die, so the diameter rod is reduced. Okay, so the diameter rod is reduced by the tensile force. The tensile force is provided by the carriage which pulls the diameter from this position to this position. So the workpiece is passed in between the two dies. Okay, this is called as rod drawing. What is tube drawing? So tube drawing is also similar to other two process except it uses a mandrel to reduce wall thickness. So this is called as a mandrel. So mandrel is used to reduce the wall thickness and cross section diameter of a tube. So the mandrel is placed between the die and the workpiece and it is pulled by a carriage. Okay, so the tensile force is created by the carriage. The tube is either circular or rectangular. It also required more than one pass to complete drawing operation. So this is called as a single pass, and when going to the other pass, the diameter will be still reduced. Okay. So what is the working process of drawing? First, a hot rolled rod is created by other metal forming process like forging, extruding, centrifugal casting, etc. Now the rod is made pointed to facilitate the entry into the die. The dust, other scale particle should be cleaned from the rod. This process is done by acid pickling. Now the prepared skin is coated with lubricant. So this process uses either swilling, coppering, phosphating or liming process. Swilling is a process of coating with ferrous hydroxide. In phosphating, magnesium or iron phosphate is coated. Cuprum and stannum are used for lubricant high strength material. Oil and grease used for wire drawing and soap is used for dry drawing. Now the rod is pulled through various dies to convert it into desired shape. The die is affected by several stresses, so it is made by high strength alloy steel like tungsten carbide, diamond, etc. So the die is the one which is going to be affected by several stress due to the tensile force provided by the carriage, so it should be made by high strength alloy steel. So this is the working process. A hot rolled rod is produced by forging. Okay, so in that rod scale other impurity is removed. So pickling or descaling is the cleaning operation to remove the scale or other impurity. So after that it will be going to the lubricant process. So swilling, liming, etc. are some of the lubricating operations. After completing the lubricating operation, the drawing operation is performed. So applications of drawing. This process is used for making wire of copper, aluminum, etc. which are used in electrical industries. Paperclip, helical spring, etc. are wire drawing products. Small diameter rods and tubes are drawing products. It is used to produce large length of small cross section. So thank you. If you have any doubts, you can type in the comment section.